Hey there guys, what's going on and welcome to a very important video. This is going to really help you craft your starting 11. I'm about to share with you some of the most overpowered players that I've used and I've come up against, and they're all pretty damn cheap. So please do support the video by leaving a like, and if you are needing game codes or anything game related, link in the description. Head over to g2.com, use the code Fuji, and if you're wanting to keep up to date with football news around the world, one football, download the app. And let's get into it. So first off, we need to find ourselves a goalkeeper. And to be fair, most of them on this game are pretty decent. You take Lloris, for example, from FIFA 19, he was awful. FIFA 20, he will perform those reflex saves. You've got Stegen, Courtois, De Gea, all of these guys are performing to their level. So if we bring it down a notch, which ones are overpowered? Now, Baumann, I've got to say, he was just really reliable. When I had the two French centre-backs in front of me, oh my god. We had this man in between the sticks and he was just performing some really good saves. Then you've got Silerson that is better than Baumann, and he was single-handedly keeping me in some of those like really tough games when I was on like 1006 skill rating. With the budget side, he is quality. So if you're looking to like get some chemistry with some Dutch players or La Liga, bring him in. Then you've got Glaci. I hope that I've pronounced it right. I always ask that, but it just doesn't sound like I'm saying it properly. But this man is the definition of OP. Although 85 rated, you know, I don't really see much of a difference between himself and Courtois, De Gea, all of these like higher rated goalkeepers on this game. So make sure you pick him up for those B squads. In that right back position, we've got some really nice options. You have Mbabu that's going to cost you a lot though. Cancelo, Kyle Walker. Like when you do start bringing in the coins, you can obviously go for those boys. But with these ones right here, they're nice. And Atel, although he was taken out of packs because he received that left wing card, he should come down as he's only 77 rated. He'll be packed a lot. And the way he plays in game, he's got the pace, he's got the 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills, and he is just solid taking the ball forward. Defensively, I mean, he's not as good as these guys, but he's still like solid breaking up the play and making those tackles. So highly recommend trying him. Then you've got two of the defenders from the Serie A. Now, I don't know which one I prefer, because Florenzi, he is so good defensively that you just wouldn't really expect that, because he is more of like the attacking fullback, and with the lack of pace, sometimes he isn't really in the correct positions as much as Malqui, and that's why I like lean towards this guy, because he's providing a little bit more pace. He feels awesome on the ball, but Florenzi, like, he does clutch up, and it's hard to determine which one is the best. So that's why I've got to show them to you boys. So Malqui is personally in my RTG side, and I just can't see someone who is gonna like properly outperform him right now with the squad that I've put together. But if I go to the Liga 1, definitely Atel is the man, and Florenzi is just a nice little option for you boys. And if he starts getting those special cards, he is going to be sick. He just needs a little bit more pace, that's all, and then he's going to be awesome. For the centre-back position, you're going to have to bring in a rock. And three of these players I've used myself. Nathan Ake, though, is a pain in the butt to play against. I don't know what they've done to his card, but he seems like he has the perfect challenge, the pace, the control, and to play out the back, which is really important. And what I'll do is I'll put together like a potential overpowered Premier League side, and I'll have him and test him out. But well recommended, because coming up against me, he looks really good. Diego Carlos, though, I've used myself, and I've got to say, with the pace, the strength, the power, had him on the main account in that 30k Icon Destroyers team, and then I brought him over to the RTG for 650 coins. You cannot go wrong. But I can't think of like a better centre-back pairing that gets a perfect link that just look meta. Konate and Mukele, like, they're just so good. He's got an 85 stand tackle. This man is like better on the ball. They just complement each other really well. So highly recommended once again. Left back position, and I've got some awesome players to share with you. So Lodi at the start of the game, I wasn't expecting him to be that playable with the pace, but looking at the FIFA 19 like super fast fullbacks, they've all been dropped to about 82 or so. In game, he feels quick, the ability on the ball, he's only 5 for 8, but he's got the strength, the tackling, the positioning. He is super good, and I can't recommend him enough. So you've got the chemistry link also to Hermoso. He's another overpowered centre back, but he didn't quite make it into the lineup today, but that's just just a freebie for you boys, but Lodi is awesome. Hernandez, like, you check out his in-game stats and he looks dreadful, right? But what this man provides is really, really nice pace. So if you're someone that commits into the challenges and you need that fullback support, he is perfect. So fast, really good tackles, just feels I just feel secure when I use the guy. So another player that I would say give a go, just to close down those opponents. And then Bernat was just a gem. Using him in like a massive team on the main account, it cost me about 2 million, 3 million, and he was slotted in that left back position. And I've got to say, his pace wasn't that bad, and on the ball, 85 dribbling. If you are a possession player or you're wanting to get use out of your fullbacks in space, get that guy. He's so good at playmaking, and it's just the way he feels. It's essentially, you've got a winger in the left back position that is pretty decent at defending as well. So those three are awesome. So CDM, centre mid position up next, and some of these players I haven't used, but coming up against them once again are very, very solid and just compact at the back. Herrera though, as a left centre mid or even as a CDM, so cheap, just really, really good. And the 72 pace, I don't really notice that to be that slow in game. Usually I'd look for like 77, 80, but there's something about this man that just provides a lot for your team. You've got the stamina, you've got the playmaking, you've got the shots, the tackling. He is just super well rounded. Thomas Partey I haven't used yet, but once again, he is that player that is just a rock, and he's so difficult to get past, especially if you are coming up against those that are dropping back a little bit more. So definitely keep an eye out on him. Delaney, I absolutely fell in love with that inform version, and he costs right now about 70,000 coins. I picked him up during the early access days for like, what was it, 35,000, 40k, and I thought it was a good price at the time. And this version is still very, very secure. So if you are looking for either a center mid, a CDM, he's going to be able to slot in those positions without any issues at all. Thiago Mendes, he is discard. I know, from someone that looked like he could be 10,000 coins, 15,000 with those kind of stats, no one really wants him, and I don't understand why. As a centre mid on the ball, yeah, you're going to be asking a few questions there. He does like to push up, but if you're wanting to play him as a CDM in a 4-2-3-1, perfect role. As a lone CDM, maybe. I'd say he's best played as either a centre mid or a CDM in that dual pairing. Zakaria I haven't used yet. On FIFA 19, he didn't live up to expectation. On FIFA 20, it feels like I'm running into a brick wall. So if you're playing him as a lone CDM, that would be recommended, because his dribbling and control, I don't think you'd want him to be like that playmaker. So out and out CDM on his own, he is just going to mop up the loose balls. And then Golovin, he's probably like the most overpowered player out of all of these. Not only can he get goals, but the way he feels on the ball, the pace, the stamina is fine. He can break up the play, and I was looking to get the goals with the Ligue 1 players, and I was struggling, and brought him back into the team, and everything started firing and clicking. He really is that playmaker, the defender, just, he's so, so good. So please try those out. So usually I'm a little bit picky when it comes to wingers, because I need them to double up and play that central cam role, and it's no different with these players. Quincy Promes, he is OP. Now the only problem is to try and get him into a starting 11. You might not want to build a Dutch team, an Eredivisie side, whatever, but he really is quality, and you can feel that when you get him in game. He is about to change something, and he's going to get goals, he's going to get assists, he has the finishing inside, outside the box, playmaking, pace, dribbling, everything that you can think of. He is true quality. Vinicius Jr., some people that didn't really get on with the card said it to me, and I was just confused, because although his finishing stat is low, and he's going to miss 1 or 2 chances, but it didn't really hold him back in any way. The passing, the playmaking, the dribbling, maybe they just aren't dribblers, but for me, I look for that ultimate control over the ball. You know how I'm like. And then with his pace, he was awesome on counterattacks. So for me, Vinicius Jr., he gets my approval. And then Carrasco, now we're starting to go up a level. And although 83 rated is quite high, you look at his stats and then his price, 1,500 coins, you can't go wrong. The only problem is very, very difficult to get into a starting 11, but my good God, is he good. And I wish I could get a strong link into someone that just looked even better than what's available right now from the Chinese Super League. It just sucks, man, but use him as an impact sub and you're not going to go wrong. So I know that some of you guys are probably thinking right now, Fuji, You forgot Henry Onyekuru. What's wrong with him? It's not that there's much wrong, because he's good at dribbling, he's got the pace, he's decent, but I don't think I would say that he is, in a way, overpowered because of his finishing. He's really, really inconsistent in front of goal for me personally, but still a good option, and it's another freebie for you guys to go and try out. Now, with Jelson Martins, he also has an issue with his shot, and I was like, do I really want to tell you guys to go and bring him into a team? If you're just playing for the dribbling, the counterattacks, and using his ability to create the space and to play make, I don't think that there's much of a problem. And it's not to say that he's going to miss every single shot, but just keep an eye out on Jelson Martins and Henry Onyekuru. If you are bringing them into a starting 11, they might be a little bit iffy in front of goal, but they're good cards and they deserve at least me to bring them up in discussion. Keita. This man is a striker. Like, winger, okay, fair enough, that's his natural position, but you're going to want to play him in that striker role. He's got the height, he's got the pace, and when he wants to turn up for you, he's got pretty decent finishing. Make sure you're hitting those finesse shots. He's unbelievable. And then you've got Deulofeu. Now, with Deulofeu, I've got to say that every time I go back to the card, his dribbling is outstanding, as well as the pace and the finishing. I don't know what they've done to him, but when he's inside the box and you want to finesse or shoot across goal, he just seems really, really reliable. So I'd like to maybe build my official RTG weekly side around that man. And then I can't forget to mention Jota. Now, Jota's a left forward though, but I play him as a cam, and cams on the game I don't really like that much. And the better cams like Firmino, De Bruyne are just far too expensive to really recommend in today's video. But the majority of the cams that I've used, like the lower rated ones, haven't really felt like that overpowered. So I would just recommend taking players like Jota, who is a non-rare card, bring them into a cam role, or go for Quincy Promes, Carrasco, those types of cards. But I'll show you Jota if you're not aware as to who I'm talking about. And it is this man right here. He's only a non-rare, but trust me, in-game he just feels like a rare. Like, if he was a rare, you wouldn't question it, but because of non-rare, you're like, oh, is he that good? No, he feels really overpowered. So those are like wingers, cams, for you guys to give a go. And the last position we're going to be going over is that striker role. And I haven't forgotten the cams, just like I explained. I don't tend to use too many in the teams that I put together, and it would be wrong for me just to recommend like any rubbish to you boys. You're having to pay for quality to bring in someone that is very much playable. Like Sarabia I was using on the RTG, but he was a bit meh, you know, so they're just, I don't believe they're like that worthwhile to go for. So Rodrigo in the striker position, I haven't used him myself. I've come up against him and he's got the physical, he's tall, he's strong, he's got the shooting. Dangerous man. So I need to get around to giving him a go, but it's a striker that I can recommend. Teixeira I've used myself. He doesn't feel as overpowered as FIFA 19, but FIFA 20 is still going to get those goals. He feels quick and he's got the dribbling. He's just a really good striker to get you guys up and running if you really are on a budget. Morales, oh dear. Now, one of the best looking 82s that I still haven't used yet, but he did come up against me and he found the back of the net. So no surprise there. 4-star, 4-star. He's a little bit pricey though. I think he's going to like eventually drop to about 7,000, 6,000 or so, but it's going to be worth spending on that man 100%. And then Kramaric is just a different option. He's not the fastest striker, but you've got the the control that he has on the ball is sick. And then you look at that 85 shot stat, and he rarely misses when he's outside the box. Inside, like, he knows where the goal is. So if you're someone that builds up a little bit slower, he might be really, really important for your team. But there it is, boys. Some cheap overpowered players in pretty much every single position for you boys. Hopefully it helps you put together some OP teams, and I will see you boys on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Team out. Peace.